Hey, what's up, everybody? Mark Hummel here, CEO of Inspector Empire Builder and lead business coach for the home inspection industry. We are so excited to be talking about this one topic because nailing this thing leads to better business decisions with all the other things you can go do in your business. And this might sound like a really basic topic, but at the end of the day, this is something that people get stuck on, they struggle with, and even when they think they know it, it still comes back to haunt them. That topic today is setting realistic stretch goals when you start thinking about what you're going to do to grow your business. I have to tell you, I've talked to way too many people who are excited about their next year, excited to set goals, and excited about the momentum that they have in their business. And they say something like, I want to grow my company by 50% or 10% or 150%, whatever the number is. My first question is, oh, that's awesome. How did you arrive at that number as a growth goal? Well, the truth is they have no idea. Most of the time they're just kind of guessing at what their growth should look like. We don't want to do that. We don't want to guess. We want to create strategic, realistic stretch goals for our business. Let's get into that. All right, the first thing you've got to understand is that you can't just set an arbitrary goal. You can't just wave a magic wand and pull a number out of thin air and say, because I did 500 inspections last year, I'll do 1,000 inspections this year. It doesn't work like that. Now, we could actually try to guess, and we could sometimes get pretty close at what we think we could accomplish. But a more strategic view would start with understanding your market opportunity. Remember that term, market opportunity, because market opportunity is the thing that determines how much you'll be able to grow. Now, I have to say right off the bat, none of this is an exact science. You can't just accurately predict down to the number how many transactions are going to happen in your market year over year just because you have past performance, as an example. But you can get pretty close by looking at the variables such as your market conditions. Is it a buyer or a seller market? What's everybody else doing in your market? What's the economy currently doing? What are the trends? My point here is not to list out every single variable or everything there is to think about your market opportunity. My point is really just to burn that term in your brain, market opportunity. What is the actual opportunity in my market to go after? If I am in a declining market, would it be smart to say I'm going to grow my company by 30%? Probably not. Maybe, depending on if you're capturing market share from other people who are going out of business. But on average, in general, in a declining market, you're probably not going to set a goal that sounds wildly optimistic growing your business. A more realistic approach, though, would be to say, again, what's my market opportunity? Is it shrinking? Is it flat? Is it growing? Now, with that, what do the numbers look like? How many transactions have there been in the last 90 days, 6 months, a year? Putting together the last few years of data, if you can go that far back, and just understanding what the trends in transactions have been throughout the last year to 3 years. From there, we can say, well, what's my market share of those trends? How many inspections did I do out of the transactions that occurred in my market? Now you have the starting point for making a strategic stretch goal. So instead of saying, I want to grow by 50%, and you're just arbitrarily pulling that number out, you're saying the market share is this. There's this many transactions occurring on average. I think it will go up, stay flat, or go down. And because of that, I'm going to project that we will do this number of inspections, which is this market share, which is this percentage growth. And here's the thing, sometimes, sometimes it's not realistic to project growth. Sometimes when you look at all the variables, you might actually project a break even year, a flat year. And sometimes you may even project a down year, all of which should indicate what you're going to do in your growth strategy, in your financial management, and a handful of other things in your business that will be other videos coming some other time. So market opportunity is huge. And this is a short video, so I won't go much deeper into it, but burn that word in your brain, market opportunity, and think when you're setting goals, what is the actual opportunity that I can take advantage of? The second thing you want to make sure that you understand is your past performance. If you didn't perform well in your growth lane of your business, don't expect that you're just magically going to perform well in the growth lane of your business. These are all things that have to be built and refined over time through use. So if last year you're a solo inspector and you only filled half of your capacity, no matter how hard you tried, it's probably not realistic to expect that you're going to fill all of your capacity and hire three people in the following year. If you weren't consistent with your growth work and you didn't see consistent results, you have one choice to make. Are you going to be the same, or are you going to double down on things that work? Now, of course, I'm a fan of doubling down on the things that work, but your past performance predicts future outcomes. So if you understand your market opportunity and you understand what your strengths are and where you've shown up in a big way in the past, then you can leverage that for your future play. Or you can say it's time to do better and put some new things in place, whether it's cold calls or swinging by open houses or more digital marketing, whatever it is that is your strategy in the growth lane. You have to understand what you've done well, what you've not done well, so that you can set goals around the things you're good at in the future. So, market opportunity, past performance. Additionally, with past performance, I'll throw this in as a bonus. If you're not tracking your KPIs, meaning number of agents that you're doing business with, number of one and dones, and the number of people that take a look at your company but don't ever actually use you, those agents that maybe need to be nurtured. If you're not looking at all those metrics and a list of other metrics in your KPIs, and you probably don't really understand how you're doing anyway. So start there if you need to. Get your list of KPIs and the list of things that you want to measure. KPIs, by the way, is key performance indicators. It's the things that actually move your needle in your home inspection business. All right, so the future stretch. When you understand your market opportunity and you understand what your past performance has looked like in your growth lane, you can start to predict what you're going to do in your future. And so, with that, we have our future stretch goal topic that we're talking about. If you are going to stretch yourself beyond what you think is comfortable, then you have a stretch goal. If you're going to do something that isn't going to take all that much work and you think that you can comfortably hit the goal, that is not a stretch goal. And so, what we teach at Inspector Empire Builder is to have strategic stretch goals in your growth. Here's what that would look like. Let's say 100 transactions happened in my market last year, and I did a great job, and I did a great job, and I did have 10% market share, which means I did 10 inspections. This is all just easy math for an example. 100 transactions happened. I did 10 of them. My market share is 10%. Well, now I know that I can nail it at 10% if I continue doing the same things I've done right now, and the market doesn't change a whole lot. Do I want to keep doing 10%? No, I want to do, let's say, 15%. So now a realistic stretch goal is going to be to perform 15 inspections for this coming year so that I can get to 15% market share. And that's going to tell me what I need to do in my growth. I need to go after some high producing agents. I need to go after their teams. I need to make sure I build tons and tons of great relationships that lead to referrals, all so that I get an additional 5 inspections per month. Again, these numbers are just easy math examples, but you can kind of see how that plays out. Market opportunity, there were 100 transactions. My market share, or how I performed last year, I did 10 of them. My realistic stretch goal, I'm going to increase to 15. And again, that may or may not be a realistic number. It's just an example. Here's the most powerful piece of the entire equation. Once you understand how all of this works and you begin to put a growth plan together based on what's actually happening in your market, the metrics and KPIs that you're tracking so that you improve them over time, and your future stretch goals, consistency is the only thing that you need to do from there. Just execute, just stick to the plan. And as you stick to the plan, you're going to realize that there are opportunities to improve all along the way. And that's what real scaling companies do. Through use, they improve their systems and their processes, and they get better and better and more accurate at setting goals as they improve as leaders in their company. Okay, that's it for today. If you want to go deeper into any of these concepts, or if you want to connect with a coach who can help you understand market opportunity, KPIs and metrics, growth plans, or stretch goals, just drop a comment or reach out to Inspector Empire Builder. We'd be happy to help you grow your home inspection business.